Okay, so starting again, take two. So we'll do something a little bit different today. So the story basically is that I've been playing sort of my main decks anyway, being the same two decks for absolutely ages. And today I'm going to try and build some new decks. I'm going to try and explain my thought process. And then I'm going to, if I have time, play them on Octagon and then tweak them afterwards. So that's the plan. I'm just going to do a couple of things first. All right, so yeah, deck building. Netrunner deck building is very much a sort of your own personal opinion kind of thing. Lots of people go about it in completely different ways. I sort of go about it in one of three ways. So first way is I just want to build a really solid deck, right? So gonna be mathematically efficient. Every card will do something. That's kind of what your deck want to be, and it's usually a mixture of this and the next thing, which is a deck built around a specific concept, right? So the second thing is your deck can be built around a concept. So it could be, classic ones are fast advance. So that's things like maybe I can just select one randomly. That's things like San City Grid, which is core region, and then shipment from Sans and stuff like even Trick of Light was really popular back then. For Wargos, no one's really playing it anymore. And Bardic Labour, so fast advance could be Tag a Bag. So recently there's been like a few more interesting ideas going around, and I'm going to try and do one like that recently. And then the last way you can deck build is, I've seen this really cool card that's just come out and I want to try and build a deck around it. So let's have a look at the cards and let's see what cards are recent. So Keyhole, for example, is a really big one. I hate that card as a corp player. When I'm playing corp, it can be pretty devastating. Recently, the new deck, I must admit, the new data pack hasn't actually been that inspirational in my opinion. Nothing too great in it. Hemorrhage is really good, so is it interesting anyway? But for example, Blackguard is obviously a deck begging for a card begging for a deck built around it. For example, you can also build a deck around a certain combos. So, for example, my MBN deck, it's just basically simply built around. It's kind of fast advanced, but it's really built around the combo of power shutdown and then accelerated diagnostics into 3 shipment from Sans. Which I'm not sure whether, I think in my second stream I actually did that. So there's that. So today I'm going to try and build one corp deck, one runner deck, semi-quickly, explain my thought process, and then play them. So let's start with a corp deck. Why not? So still 4 main. Incidentally, the deck builder. I should talk about the deck builder. So I use Netrunner DB. There's quite a few other ones. Meteor. I used to use Card Game DB, which has been bought by Fantasy Flight. I should probably use that one, but I use Netrunner DB at the moment just because, for some reason, I just find it easier, and I think it does a really good job of just show you what the card is, which I forget all the time. I would also say that when you're deck building, obviously an understanding of the cards is pretty critical. Well, no, I take that statement back. Understanding the cards is important. However, don't let that put you off. Just build with the cards that you know. And then when you play against someone on Octagon or in real life, they might play a card where you're like, oh, that looks really cool. And then they do a combo with it. And you're like, oh my God, that is really cool. And then you can build a deck based on that. Another way to go about it is in all these big cards, for example, Netrunner DB and a card game DB, etc. They have deck lists, right? And they have some of the most popular deck lists. So you can just go to popular and have a look. And some of them will have a big ass comment. So this one's really popular, for example, for some reason. And you can just look through them and just download them and play with them. And so read the description. So this is something used in one of the new IDs, Grindle. And let's have a look. It's probably, I'm not going to guess what it is. I mean, if I were to build a Grindle deck, it would be, I'll just take loads of bad pub and get loads of money and murder you. Which actually, I think this is what it sounds like. Look, Seesaw, Scorched Earth. There we go. So actually, let's build some. Let's build a Wayland deck like this. I'm going to be a little bit more, conservative, and just build a really standard Wayland deck. I think instead of going a bit crazy. So yeah, you can check out other people's decks, build a deck using those, or um, or just build a really solid deck if you want. But yeah, like just use the cards that you know, right? Or just go through. I personally wouldn't go to every single card and think about it. I would build a card that I know, and then build using the cards that I know, and then tweak it as I play more games and understand what's missing. So, there's always a balance between, for example, for the corp, it's going to be a balance between things like the number of ice you have, your agenda spread, your economy, and as you play more, you start thinking about things like the strength of your ice, the type of ice you have, and and then what operations you run, right? Run operations in terms of what combo you're running and things like that. Okay, so let's just build a standard Wayland deck. Why not? With a bit of a twist. So, Wayland. How do you play Wayland? Well, Wayland basically is known for having fuckloads of money. A ridiculous amount of money. So, tag and bag works really well for them because they hopefully will have enough money to tag and bag a runner. So, tag and bag, I mean some way of tagging the runner. Standard way is Seasource, but also I've had success with things like mid-season replacements, because you can make them so tagful that they'll just give up actually protect themselves. And also, what else am I thinking? Snare, actually. I'm going to use Snare in this deck. Actually. So I'm going to build a deck similar to one I had a while ago. It's a little bit out of date now, I think, actually. But anyway. So, start off with standard cards, I think. So I'm actually going... So when I start deck building, what I normally do is with a corp, I'll filter. Let's start with the agendas. So what are we trying to do in this deck? Well, we want to get loads of money, and then we want to murder the runner. What do we not want the runner to do? Well, we don't want the runner to steal our agendas. So one way to go about it is to get loads of 5/3 agendas, like government contracts, priority requisition, so on, simply because this means that there'll be fewer agendas in our deck. So we could just have 7. 7 is the lowest number of agendas you could have. 7 3-pointers. But what am I going to do? Well, not sure actually. Well, we want some money. Firstly, I'm a big fan of hostile takeover. Gives you money. So maybe I'll have 3 of those. Let's take 3 hostile takeovers. So that completely goes against what I've just said, but gives you loads of money. We're aiming to get loads of money. Money is good. I like money. So let's go with that. Private security force is good because... So, private security force is good because you keep on punching them in the face, right? This only works if they're tagged. So if I run with private security force, I'll need to run a deck that... just got rid of that. I need to run a deck that will constantly tag them. So I need to run mid-season replacements. So yeah, let's do that. Let's run 2 from security forces. I'm literally just picking numbers out of thin air here. Project Atlas is really important for tag and bag, because although it's not an economy card, it gives you the ability to take the cards you need from your R&D. So if I'm missing a piece of the tag and bag combo, I can grab it using Project Atlas. This is something I've learned from experience. I did not realize this until someone did it against me. So play loads of games and you'll realize more. So I'll take 3 Project Atlas. It's also a 3/2, which is really good. Oh, phone call. Be right back. Anyway, so okay, I need to cut that bit out. 3 project atlases, 3-2. It's also a 3-2, which is really good. Okay, cleaners. So this directly also works really well with Tag and Bag. However, I'm not a big fan of the cleaners just because there are better abilities out there. So with Tag and Bag, you need money and you need to murder them. Obviously, the cleaners is really good for murder, and it's also really brutal with Private Security Force as well because it boosts Private Security Force up to do 2 meat damage. But by the time that you've scored a cleaners and a Private Security Force, you've already had 5 agenda points, so you might be almost have won. I'd rather do. It's tricky. It's tricky. I'd rather score a government contract, if I'm being honest. So I'll put 2 government contracts in there. So that's 19 points already. We're on 10 agendas, which is kind of 1 more than I want to. Vulcan cover up. That's also pretty good. Veterans program is good because kind of choices. Okay, I'll just pick something. Let's go with. Let's take 1 more government contracts and reduce hostile takeover by 1. So we've still got. We can reduce hostile takeover by 2. Actually, no. Let's. It's kind of tricky. I don't want to. Because if they steal a government contract, it's pretty devastating. So let's take corporate war. Corporate war is money. Hopefully, when I score it, I will have shitloads of money. It's just more money. The downside of corporate war is it's not really good for, in my opinion, MBN. Even though MBN has sweep now, and Jinteki usually, just because you're more likely to need those few credits. So you're more likely to be in the sort of 0 to 7 credit range. If you're Wayland, hopefully you have so much money that it won't matter. So I'll take 2 corporate wars, which gives me 23 points, and I'll reduce government contracts by 1, I think. So just 1 government contracts. If I score it, great. Hopefully they won't steal it. 11 agendas. In general, I like to be on 20 agenda points and not 21. Just have as few agenda points as possible. Again, it's debatable how many you want, but let's start with that and see where we go. So that's that. Let's now. So on the top here, there's all the different types. There's agenda and asset and ice and identity, operation, upgrade. Obviously, don't need the identities anymore. And these are so you can filter in and out based on what you need. So we have agendas now, so we can take those out. Now I think we actually look for the combo pieces of what we want. So what do I feel like having? Okay, so as I said before, this will probably be a mid-seasons deck. So let's take mid-seasons. So the main problem with mid-season replacements, it's a great card. Trace 6, 5 cards, Trace 6. If successful, give the runner tags equal to the amount by which your Trace strength exceeds his or her link strength. So it's really good for like psychographics because you can give them like 20 tags in one go, but it's super expensive to use. And it only works if the runner stolen agenda during his or her last turn. So if the runner's on 5 points already, mid-season replacements is useless. Unless they score like a hostile takeover, I guess. So if they're on 6 points, it's definitely useless. It's also 4 influence, so I think I could. Let's just put 1 for now. Let's put 2. I don't think I'll be able to afford 2 though. That's already 8 influence of my 15, because with this, I'm going to try the dedicated response team snare combo. So dedicated response team. So this is a combo again that I know from experience. Dedicated response team is an asset if the runner is tagged. Dedicated response team does, when a successful run ends, deal 2 meat damage. So they need to be tagged when the run ends. Then you res dedicated response team, and then you do 2 meat damage to them, which is great. So because it's within faction, let's take 3 of those. And how are we gonna tag them? Well, we can tag them using. They could be just swamped with tags already, which is sad for them from mid-season replacements. We can also tag them with snare, which is a Jinteki asset. It's a trap, and when they access it, you pay $4. And when they access it, they do 3 net damage and they get a tag. So we're actually doing damage using both of those things. We're doing damage from the pure net damage. We're also doing damage from the tag if we have dedicated response team installed. So, but again, it's influence. So let's go with the best case scenario. Let's take 3 of those. but already we're at 14 influence. But I'd rather go over influence and wind down as opposed to the other way around. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's that. And then what else can give tax? Data Ravens can. Data Raven is a ice. And when they approach Data Raven, to get past it, unless I think Femme is on it, Femme Fatale, they just have to take attack or end the run. This is, again, 2 influence. So let's grab 3 of those. I know I'm over my influence limit now, but I'm going to wind down afterwards. So this is kind of the core of my combo. This is how my thing is going to work. Oh, no, it's not. I forgot the key card in my combo, Scorched Earth. This is the card that defines Wayland. It does 4 meat damage if they're tagged. If they're tagged from Mid-Seasons, if they're tagged from Snare, if they're tagged from Data Raven, I get to murder them, which is great. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, now what else do we need? Money, right? So the point of this idea is for every transaction that I do, I get money, which is great. So transaction cards are operations, so let's filter down to the operations. Okay, so what transactions do we have? Beanstalk royalties, that's a transaction. Commercialization is a transaction, but it's for advancement ice, and I will have some advancement ice, but I'm not planning on advancing them that much, so we'll see what happens. What else? Hedge fund, pretty standard. Probably every corp will need a hedge fund. And subliminal messaging is interesting. But maybe too slow? Not sure. Subliminal messaging is one of the new cards. Gain a credit, gain click if you've not played another subliminal messaging this turn. If the runner did not make a run during his or her last turn, you may add subliminal messaging to HQ from archives when your turn begins. So it's kind of like a pad campaign if they don't run, which may happen. Anyway, restructure definitely as well. Pay 10, gain 15. That's a transaction, which is great. And already we're at 34 cards out of 45. Okay, I'm going to put 2 subliminal messages in there just because, partly because I can and partly because I'll probably cut them out later on, so we'll see what happens. Okay, what else do I want? Well, that's about it. So that's how I've built it so far. Start with agendas, put your combo pieces in, or whatever you're planning on doing, then money. In terms of asset-based economy, it's more of an HB thing, isn't it? So I'm going to maybe I'll just depend on all this money instead of asset-based. Oh, punitive counter-strike is also interesting. So this is tricky, right? Because it immediately seems like a really good card to play. Does meat damage and works really well with what I've got. The problem is I'm only running 1 3-point agenda. I'm running quite a few 2-point agendas, to be fair. Okay, maybe I'll put... You see, I think we're just planning on murdering the runner and doing that using tag and bag. So, not sure. Let's chuck 2 in, and we might end up cutting them. We'll see what happens. But let's keep it like that for now, I think. Okay, so final thing are obviously the ice. So let's filter to ice. Oh wait, ice. Yes, okay. So I've already used 20 influence. I may borrow some ice elsewhere, but for now let's look at neutral and Wayland ice and see what we want. Archer. Okay, so my approach to ice is also slightly different from a lot of other people. I don't like more than 2 of every type of ice, and I like to spread the strength of the ice as well. This is partly just anti-Atman, but it's also partly just because it kind of screws with maths a little bit. I just like to have a large variety of ice. So my personal rule is not to have more than 2 of any type of ice. So Archer, pretty standard Wayland ice, the strongest Wayland ice probably, really screws with the maths because in general, if you have more money than the corp and you have your, like, say, your rig out, or let's say, or even a Crypsis out, usually you can be sure that you can break through any ice that they res, but not Archer, because Archer is 4 credit cost, strength 6, and 4 subroutines. So I guess the only few icebreakers that can break through Archer at 4 costs is like Fem, because there's 4 subroutines, and Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter only costs 2 or 3. Because Sharpshooter is like a one-off. It's like Deus Ex, where you pay some money to boost it, and then and Fairy maybe, can't remember. Let's grab 2 Archers. Archer's great. Okay, so there's this great article on, I can't remember where it was now. I'll link to it afterwards, about the different types of ice. And he talks about like analog and digital ice, or like basically there's some ice, like Ice Wall, for example, where it's really just a sort of check for their icebreaker. If they do not have if they don't have, for example, a Fractor or a AI or something like that, or something to break the ice wall, they just won't get in, right? So yeah, that's like just sort of checking ice. And then there's ice like Archer, which are more analog ice, where even if they have the breaker, it still costs them a hell of a lot to get in. So yeah, that was really interesting, and it is definitely the right way to think about ice. So start with Archer. Okay, so what else are we looking for? Well, we're trying to get money, so Caduceus is great. Let's take 2 of those. What other ice gives you money? So Caduceus is a trace, gives you $3 if they can't beat the trace, which is great. So we want money, and we want them to lose money. So Data Pike means that they lose money. Toll Booth means they lose money, but Toll Booth is MBN. I'll see how much it costs. How much does Toll Booth cost? Toll Booth is 2 influence. Okay, I'll put 1 Toll Booth in, and then we'll work out the influence later. Not sure. Grim slows them down a lot. I was a big fan of Grim a while ago. It's really nice, like surprise ice. We're like, just lose a program, and I've got an ice wall afterwards, so you can't break it anymore. But yeah, we want ice walls, so we'll take a couple of ice walls. Hunter gives them tags, so it's a couple of hunters. This will go down significantly in a bit, because as you can see, we're already at 48 cards. And let's have a look. Shadow is good, gives us money. Okay, and then you've got like the standard sort of different types of walls. So let's grab all static. Let's grab a Grim. Let's grab a Bastion. Okay, so grab some ice. How many ice do we have? 12, 14, 18. That's way more ice than we need. I'm kind of... Okay, so I think if you're building a deck first time, definitely aim for about 18 to 19 pieces of ice. Just because you do need ice to stop the runner. I'm a fan of lower numbers of ice. My decks tend to average at about 15 ice, I think. But it's debatable. So am I in the situation to cut? Also, the bad thing currently is that the balance here is really bad. We've got 12 sentries, 2 Kogates, 4 barriers. In general, Kogates are the cheapest ice to break. In general, for the strength. Sorry. But they do freaky things. Barriers just stop dudes, and sentries are probably the most expensive ice to break, and they tend to be the ones that do the most horrible stuff. So as a runner, you tend to want to get your sentry breaker out first if you're playing quite conservatively. Okay, so let's start cutting. So we're currently at 22 influence. We need to lose 7 influence. How are we going to do that? Probably, well, yeah, I think this will go down to 1. So now we need to lose 3. Let's lose a Data Raven. And then let's... Sorry, Tollbooth. Yeah. Okay, now we're at 14. Now let's look at the rest of the ice to see what 1 strength ice there is. So let's filter by 1 strength. There's all the 1 strength ice. Let's do a bit of a surprise to see what ice there is 1 strength, and it's not Wayland that I can confuse. Pop-up window is actually quite a good one. I love that ice. There's only 1. It's kind of like a poor man's toll booth, isn't it? That's wraparound. It's pretty good. It's like ice wall, but kind of better-ish. Well, no, it's not. It's like ice wall, but actually, it's exactly like ice wall. But I guess you can't break through using AI. Okay, let's grab a pop-up window, and then gotta cut some more. 4 barriers, 2 code gates. We should really balance this out a little bit more as well. We probably should get some more code gates. Let's filter back down. Let's grab a... So, also big problem right now is that none of my code gates are... this is a really good thing about Tollbooth, that it's outside of Yogg range. So Yogg is a 5 cost code gate breaker. Costs 5 money, 3 strength, but it has a subroutine, 0 cost break ice subroutine. So currently both of these, Data Pike I guess is within Yogg range, which is bad. So are there any... Is Data Pike within Yogg? Yeah, Data Pike is within Yogg range. So maybe we do want that Tollbooth, but then we'll have to cut out something else. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a Tollbooth and let's reduce a snare. Put a snare down. 4 barriers, 3 code gates. Now let's cut down some of these sentries. Also, strong stuff. Tollbooth is strong. Archer is strong. And the spread of strength. Oh, here we go. This is really handy. So, strength is pretty good. I've got something at every strength up to 6, which is good. Okay, let's get rid of the Grim. So we'll depend on Archer to kill our dudes for us. To kill our programs for us. Let's get rid of a Hunter. Just the 1. But this is alright, actually. 4, 7, 16 ice. That's okay. How many cards we got? Oh, we're on 49 cards. Ah, that's great. Let's just play this. Let's just play this deck and see what happens. Wasn't expecting that. So for Corp in general, you want 49 cards unless you're running like MBN, the MBN 40 card deck, because then it spreads your agendas out a bit more. That's the general consensus. There's definitely arguments against that, but see what happens. So let's say Wayland, I murder you. Save. This has actually turned out really similar to a deck that I ran a while ago, and it doesn't. You can tell because the only new thing it runs is Punitive Counterstrike. I wonder what I had instead of it. Okay, now let's load up Octagon. I might play some music as well. Octagon is updating. So while we're doing that, I guess I'll talk about the different corps. So there are 4 different corporations: Wayland, HB, Jinteki, and MBN. I think Fantasy Flight have done a really good job in balancing them. Jinteki used to be the poor boy of the corp world, but now, especially hopefully with these new fancy IDs, it's going to be a lot more interesting to play. I also believe that Jinteki is the most interesting corp to play. So Jinteki is all about mind games. So Jinteki has all the traps usually, has most of the traps, stuff like snare and shock and veto AI. Jinteki has all the horrible trap assets, like advanceable assets as well, like Junebug, and also has, what is it, Edge of World, which is horrible if you get hit by it. So it's all about mind games and outthinking the runner, sort of. HB is the sort of we are super efficient corp. So you can tell that by its core ID, which is first time you install a card, you gain a credit. In general, HB is probably for the Mathsy players, I guess, just because you're looking for, because you're just constantly efficiently building up your servers and installing agendas the hard way. But also HB also works for fast advance as well, I think. So people have definitely played HB with, because HB have quite a few 3-2s. So that's 3 advancements for 2 points. And HB also has Biotic Labour. and you could quite easily chuck in a sunset if you wanted to. MBN is news corporations. Their specialty is tagging the runner. So all the tagging operations like seesaws and mid-season replacements are in it. Let's have a look. That sound is just the music. I'll turn it up a bit. So I am just gonna start up. Okay, let's start looking for runner. Start. Okay, so MBN is the big sort of news corporation. Their specialty is either fast or advanced, so they can be really, really fast. So they have all the really fast cards such as Sansan Circuit Grid, Shipment to Sansan, and Astrostrict Pilot Program, which is an agenda where it comes with an agenda token, and you can use that to advance another agenda. So you could literally just be chaining these Astroscripts out as long as you can solve the first one normally, or through a Sansan. So can be really, really fast. Oh, someone's joined the game. Hi. I am streaming. Hope that's okay. See whether he's okay with me streaming. So we're going to play this Wayland deck with him, and fail probably. I think I may have. And the last one's Wayland, which I'll play. So we're all good. So let's have a look. Great. Let's play my decks. So to export it over, it's really simple. You pick it, you go to more, you click Octagon file, you save the Octagon file somewhere. Hopefully they won't really pawn in where it opens up. Oh great, it doesn't. Okay, so show folder, and then open that up, and then you just load what you saved. So it's just in here. There we go. So let's see what happens. Setup. So those people talk to me about my mouse clicking, so I'm going to try and play with my trackpad while we're actually playing the game. See what happens. So this starting hand, Scorched Earth is good. 2 agendas is not good actually. Okay, and also no money, which is bad. So I'm going to mulligan. This may be a bad idea. Kind of is a. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, so straw. Beanstalk royalties. Okay, that's not bad. I might just score this hostile takeover for 2 main reasons. Lets me run the restructure next turn, and don't really want 2 agendas in my hand. So he's a Mac though. So but if he does that, he might run into a snare. So fingers crossed. Let's hostile takeover. I was like he's gonna. He might make his eye, but then I was like, okay, maybe he'll just run into a snare, and then I'll win. Okay, so let's score that. Get some money. Put myself in archer range as well. By archer range, I mean I can actually start rezzing archers, because you do need to spend an agenda to res archer. And I've got 10 credits, so now I can restructure next turn. See what he does. The first few turns of a game I find quite interesting, because it really says something about a player. So he's dieseled, so he's clearly trying to build up. He's going to be building stuff up. Oh no, he's a calcite! That was unexpected! That was very unexpected. Okay, I just gonna chew my own words, because that was not what I expected to happen. But okay. Fair enough. Props to him, I guess. Ooh, and he stole an agenda. This is not going well. And oh my god, this is not going well at all. Okay, so he's put a Flascrete out. Never mind. Okay. But he does have 2 tags, I think? Yeah, 2 tags. Okay, so... Ooh, this did not go to plan. Let's protect HQ, because I know he runs Account Siphon. Maybe this is his only Account Siphon, but he does run it. And I've got 2 agendas now. Beanstalk royalties, and then let's... Could run the dedicated response team, because if he runs here, I get to start chewing down his Plascrete. But if he runs the Plascrete, he'll just... Oh, if he runs here, I guess... If he runs the actual asset, he'll pay 3 to trash it. Actually, I'll install the dedicated response team. See what he does. Maybe he'll run here. In that case, I'm happy for him to spend 3 credits to trash it. If he runs R&D, I will res this and make him take some damage, punish him for not getting rid of the tags. Or he could just get rid of the tags. Okay, so he stores an Akamatsu. Lose tag. Okay, so he's losing the tags. Fair play to him. And Magnum Opus. Okay, very good. There's a snare. Okay, great. Let's do some drawing. Because right now, don't really want to install the Atlas. Don't really want to install the snare. Can't play Restructure. So let's draw. Punitive Counter-Strike. Ooh, wait a second. He could play it actually. Because he took it last turn, didn't he? Let me check. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So it doesn't work. What to do now? Shall I just restructure? Let's just restructure. Let's take a credit and let's restructure. So he diesels again. Runs R&D. Very good. Unfortunate. Hopefully I have some more ice in there. So I'm not drawn any yet. So fingers crossed. Oh dear. That's not good. But he's not hit the government contracts yet, so it could be worse. At least he's spending clicks running R&D, and he doesn't have a data sucker or anything. Okay, cool. Get some money, very good. What have we got? Oh, it's an archer. Okay, so I'm gonna install. He knows what it is anyway, but I'm gonna install the archer anyway. Gonna do what I should have done earlier, which was draw, and it's another archer. So, let's install the archer here. Get ready to score some objectives. The good thing is, if I res this archer, he'll think it's the archer. He might think it's the archer he saw for R&D, so he might not run R&D for fear it's something else. I mean, right now it doesn't matter because I don't have anything installed in the server, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so he's probably super suspicious about this one. We'll see what happens. So right now the question is, if he runs R&D, should I res this arch? Actually, no, I probably should because of the Magnum Opus, right? And he's not going to run R&D now because he knows that it's got a 50-50 chance that it's an archer, or it's almost definitely an archer. So you can draw some more. Wow, very fast. And Dirty Laundry into. Okay, very good. That's fine. Okay. One more click. Runs HQ, that's fair enough. Let's res this thing. Gonna probably start tracing. Okay, so let's trace 3. Yeah, let's trace 3. Trace 3, make it spend some money, 2 money. No, that's fine. And then we make him spend another 2, make him spend another 1 money, I suppose. Yeah, why not? Maybe he'll hit, I mean, 50% chance he'll hit an Atlas, 50% chance he'll hit, like 25% chance he'll hit a snare. If he hits a snare, I'll res this, oh no, wait. Do I have to res this dedicated response team? Should I res this dedicated response team? No, let's just let him go, I think. If it hits a snare, I can't use the ability of the DRT, but I think it's... Okay, so he hits an Atlas, unfortunately for me, but that's okay. So now it's 5-1, so I am now on checkpoint, this has gone by really quickly, so we'll see what happens. I'll computative counter-strike him now, I guess. There's not that much benefit in doing it though. There's an ice wall. Let's put an ice wall here. Or put an ice wall here. Let's put an ice wall here. And let's put this Atlas down. And let's advance the Atlas by 1. Very good. Now if he runs the HQ, he's got a 50% chance of hitting a snare, which I prefer. Of course, also he's almost won, so I guess we'll see what happens. Okay. Test run. into a fem, I'm guessing. Yep, very good. Yep. Okay, well, I'm not going to res that. Just gonna let him in. Maybe he'll win now. Fingers crossed. He's going to win. No, okay. Risky, but I can't. Maybe I should have resed it. Maybe spend some money. Not sure. SMC. Okay, cool. Very good. Beanstalk royalties. Okay, so let's. Beanstalk royalty is interesting because you could probably just keep it in your hand for siphons and things like that, and it'll just boost you up pretty quickly. I'm gonna advance this twice, and then I'm gonna I'll advance it again. Ooh, I don't know. So it'll cost me. Yeah, let's advance it again. Don't think it's gonna run on that server anyway, but it only cost me 5 to res everything, so hopefully it should be okay. So try to over-advance the Atlas, put myself in a position to kill him. Unfortunately, he's loaded. One of the best ways to defend yourself against Tagabag is just to be really rich, basically. So he short gambles, draws, gets some money. So one of his cards is a fem, so I probably need to protect this next turn actually. So if I draw a knight, I'll chuck it on top of the archer. So I've got shadow. Okay, so let's protect this thing. Let's advance this once more. I really wish it was government contracts, but it's just an Atlas. No, actually, let's advance it. Let's have a look. 3, 4. No, let's advance it twice because then I could beanstalk royalties up to some more money and protect 2 levels of R&D, both levels. I think. Well, actually, shadow. Yeah, let's not be greedy. Let's score Atlas, and let's use beanstalk to boost myself up 10 credits. He might siphon me now, I guess. But if he siphons me, I guess I'll rest this dedicated response team, so he has to run it. But we'll see what happens. We might just run HQ for a laugh. Don't know. Short gamble, more money, very good. So, yeah, I'm losing quite a lot now. He did take quite a big gamble at the well, I guess it wasn't that big of a gamble because he installed a Plascrete, so he was like, okay, you need all 3 Scorchers in your hand. And I don't think I had enough money to play all 3 Scorchers anyway, so it's really good play on his part in the first turn. Just keeping the tags there and just installing a Plascrete instead. But actually, I'm kind of confident that I can just win this normally, so we'll see what happens. Okay. What have we got? Data Pike, right. So, let's draw. So we've got a restructure now, some more money, which is great. So let's restructure and install the data pike over HQ. So we've got some protection. So we can't just run into HQ like crazy. Main problems are now is that I can't actually win through Tagabag because he's on 5 points, and I suppose I can tag him using Data Raven and Snare if he played it badly, but actually pointless now because unless he gets a hostile takeover, I can't actually kill him. But good thing is he might think that I'm doing Seesaw Scorched. In that case, he's trying to keep himself. So he's on 14 credits. I'm on 15 credits. He's trying to keep himself out of that range because I've got 2 Atlas tokens and I've got 2 cards. So that's why he's going. He's like, okay, he's probably got one bit of his combo in his hand, or maybe 2 Scorched in his hand. I don't know. And I can, if I have more money than him, I might be able to kill him if he makes a run, just by using both Atlas tokens, and then. So it's kind of tricky. Not sure what he's going to do. I think I might just use those. This wasn't my plan originally, but the Atlas tokens are just a bit of a threat, as a bit of a threat. So he draws. I don't think I'm ever going to use them. Because I can't. If I use them for money, he'll be oh, I suppose he might think, oh shit, he's got 2 pieces of his combo now. So it's not sure. Okay, ACCOUNT. Right, take some money. ACCOUNT. Very good. Okay, dedicated response team. Let's install this dedicated response team because he's probably got loads of tricks up his sleeve to get through this server. So let's make this look like it's an agenda by doing that. Drawing again. Drawing another snare. Okay, and then next time I put a snare down there actually. Credit. See what he does. So he might think it's an agenda now. He might run it. If he runs it, he might get his fem out to do one of those to put him on one of the cards. If fingers crossed, he'll run it. Spend loads of money trying to get in, and then I might be able to score an agenda next turn. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Yes, 2 plastic. No way I'm going to kill him. So I might as well actually start using the atlases for money. Try to get that restructure out or something like that. Just to protect my agendas. So he draws. So is he going to run? That is the question. No. What does he do? He uses fem. Okay, so he's just going straight for R&D. Wise move on his part, I think. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, so is he going to run R&D? If he does, I just have to build R&D up more, which is annoying. Okay. Is he going to run? If only this wasn't an archer. If only I played him a bit more. He's going. Okay, fine. Let's res this shadow. Oh, of course, he can use fem to break it. I always forget about that. Do I want him to spend 4 credits getting through? Not well. I'll let him through. I'm just gonna have to take this risk. Unfortunately, he's gonna get in either way. So, okay, so nothing. That's good. The sad thing is that I can't just trash this card because he's probably got scavenge or something to scavenge the fem back. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so what did he see? He saw another shadow. Okay, it's not that handy. Let's draw again. Punitive counter-strike, that's not helpful. Let's draw again. Data Raven, that is quite helpful. So let's chuck the Data Raven at the top. Just gonna have to play the odds again and hope that he doesn't see the agenda. I doubt that will be the case, but if he runs now, I guess at least I can res both of these dedicated response teams and do a bit of damage to one of his class creeps to freak him out a bit. See what happens. Or maybe he thinks I've got stuff in HQ, they'll start running HQ, which I won't mind either. I just won't res this and let him try and hit one of the snares. See what happens. Bit of money. I forget people run Plascrete. I kind of refuse to run Plascrete, almost out of principle, but sensible people run Plascrete. What's the plan? He does deliberate quite a lot, which is really wise of him. I think he thinks about this game way more than I do, as in like his individual turns, which is a lot better than what I do. Okay, so he takes a tag, very good. And then is he going to trace? Okay, so he's going to let me trace him. That's fine. So not going to boost the trace at all. Just gonna let him spend the money because he's got a bad pub. Yep, spend a bit more money, that's fine. So I need to ask him whether he accesses first. Okay, so he is. So I'm just gonna res both of these. So he has to access now. He might just win at this point, but at least I get rid of one of his plascretes. Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to use both these. Cool. And then he will use the plascrete counters to protect himself, which is fine. But at least now every time he runs R&D, he's going to lose 2 of his plascrete counters. So again, this does not actually impact anything. What? Oh. That was not meant to happen. Yeah, that was not meant to happen. Huh. I thought, did he lose 2 cards? Never mind, okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter too much. Let's credit, hedge fund. Because not many other players. I don't really want to draw more. Maybe I should have drawn. Kind of want some money though. Money is nice. And at least now he's going to start at least running here or something like that to get rid of my thicker response teams. So maybe it diverts attention away from R&D for a little bit. Who knows? So yeah, I guess this shows me that I kind of might maybe need more barriers and code gates, because he's just getting through with the fem everywhere. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine, because for some reason the meat damage took 2 cards away. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, okay, I now know he's got a Guardian Blade of Crypsis in hand now, but that's fine. He's like, oh, what's he doing? Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, let's just run the DRTs now, which is fine. He'll pay 2 to trash them because he's got bad pump. But at least I've still got 1. And you have to run through this giant server to get through to it, so he's not going to do that probably. Well, maybe he will. Maybe he will. Then I'll res the Sice Ball, and then he'll try to break through it with this, and then res the Archer. Money. Okay. Cool. Oh, there's 1 Scorched Earth at the very least. Thinking about actually installing this snare now, because he'll think it's like a DRT or something. He'll think it's another DRT. He's like, I've just got to run that DRT because he'll just want to do 4 more damage to me. Let's play him a little bit, see what happens. Should I protect it with a shadow? No, let's just leave it open and take some credits and see what he does. I'm just kind of curious. Or if he's got infiltrate, that'll be great for him. Ah, 1 card I forgot to, I've just remembered, 1 card I forgot to add to that you need to add to every corp deck is flipping Jackson Howard. Ah, I just remembered. Oh no. This is also partly why I'm like, I can't cycle things from archives. What's going on? Because I have fucking Jackson Howard. That's what's going on. Ah, never mind. Never mind. Well, that's something to add. Never mind. What's he doing? I think he's thinking, should I run that? Run it. It's just a Project Atlas. If he runs it, I do get 2-3 damage to him, which is very nice. Give him a tag, which is also really nice. And do 2 more meat damage to one of his plascretes, which is also super great. It's going to put him in I'm terrified range, which is good. So we'll see what he does. Maybe it hurries up because I need to go soon. He's thinking. He's definitely a good player because he's like really thinking about it. Don't know what he's considering, but maybe he'll run R&D again. He has just 1 agenda from we've just had this mid-game, this unfortunate mid-game where I have not had any luck with the gen. Oh, there's some luck. So tempted just to leave this one here as mid-season's bait, but he has enough money not to worry about it. So I'm just gonna score it, I think. And maybe he'll still run that snare because he'll be like, oh, that's an Atlas. I don't know. But now it's actually 4-5, so I've caught up a little bit. Now I'm definitely not going to win with Seasource or mid-season Scorch. He's just going to run the remote server. Very good. I'm going to make him spend a shitload killing that archer. I think he has enough money to defeat it, but I'm still gonna res it because options are he can probably get some sort of breaker out, but that'll still be really expensive for him. He could fem, and that'll cost him, what is it, strength 6? Wow, he's doing it. So 3 times, yeah, it'll cost him 10 credits. So yeah, I'll take that. That's cool. And then, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, maybe I should have just put that. Now I'm like, maybe I should have not scored that. Maybe I should have not scored that hostile takeover. Who knows? Anyway, let's draw some more. Another DRT. Let's install the DRT here for the lulz, and then let's hedge fund, take some more money. It's a shame, I know. Like, he's obviously trying to play against the Seasource combo. And if I had Seasource Scorched Earth, oh no, I still wouldn't have won because he's got 4. But who knows? Maybe I just res this DRT to make him think that he has to run it. Oh, another Plascrete, okay. Not much I can do now. Okay, there's a government contract. Okay, so this is the winning. Oh no, I've got 3 agendas, so I actually still can't win. This is where it gets hard. Let's install the snare. And then take some money. And maybe we'll draw the toll booth or something next time to give us a bit more protection and try and get the government contracts out. So he's like, okay, I've trashed 2 DRTs. What could those cards possibly be, right? I'm just trying to bait him into one of the snares. He's obviously not running HQ anymore. Maybe he'll run HQ now. Every single thing that I've said in this game so far, he's done the opposite thing. So maybe, I don't know. He's just, yeah. I don't know. He's a better player than me, definitely. Oh, he's thinking again. He's definitely just, he's a good player. Very, full, it is full of tough choices. I just wanted to run a snare so I can res that DRT and make him run the DRT again. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he won't. Draw. Oh, so he's maybe planning on take some money. Maybe he's going to install something. Snare, DRT. He's not falling for my traps. He's not falling for them. So yeah, at this point I could have installed this one over this one, and then Jackson the snares back in, but didn't run Jackson Howard because I'm an idiot. Yeah, like I do think that. And now he runs HQ. Why does he run HQ now? I'm gonna raise the state spike. So yeah, I think Jackson just 1 influence is 3 trash. It's great in every way, basically. Like, there's nothing wrong with Jackson's great, in my opinion. He can break through it, and then he's got a 1 in 5 chance of winning. And if he wins, then I think he deserves it because, yeah, he played very well, I think. Very good. Spend a bit of money. And then break of 2, I guess. And then break Caduceus for a bit more money. Break Caduceus for 4. Yeah. Well, at least now we're in the sort of, if he doesn't get this government contract, we can probably, especially if we get a piece of ice, we can probably score it here. And then it makes it a bit of a tighter game. So fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Okay. He's using Fem as his sentry breaker as well, which is pretty brave. Oh, and he gets the government contracts. Well, that's the game. It was 1 in 5. Video evidence. Well, that's the game. I tried. One thing I definitely should have done is put in Jackson Howard, but I did. He did very well. So he did a really good job, I think. I think I might actually link to him the Twitch so you can watch it from my perspective. So let's, yeah, he played really well. Okay, so let me give him the link. Okay, so yeah, thanks for the game. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so yep, really enjoyed that game. I thought it was really good. He's a really good player. I was really impressed. I fortunately have time to tweak this deck. Now I need to head off, but I'll have a think about it. Definitely to put Jackson Howard in. Fucking forgot Jackson Howard. Ugh, don't believe it. But we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.